So you got a degree. Now what next? Obviously, you want a job, but just because you have a degree doesn't mean that you're going to be getting a job. Correct? Everyone knows that because there are millions of graduates coming out of colleges in India. You are just one of them. So why should a company give you a job? Now, company will give a job only if you can showcase that you are something different. You have something extra. You have something more. How do you get that more? Because when you become a graduate, you are as good as somebody who's sitting beside you, right? So that means I need to showcase my skill set. So isn't degree sufficient for showing the skill set? Yeah, well, that's a starting point. That's a starting point. Without degree, nothing is going to happen. That's for sure, right? So get a degree. Now, what do I do to get a job? What if I've got a degree in engineering? I'm an engineer, so shouldn't I get an advantage over other people who are non-engineers? Not really, because recent surveys suggest that around 65 to 70% of engineers in India are unemployable. They lack the basic skills to get a job, specifically in IT. So if I want to get a job, what do I do? Most importantly, I need to build up my skill set. Most importantly, I need to find a stream and become an expert in that. There are different technology stacks available for an IT graduate or IT professional to expand in. You can go into Java full stack, you can go into Python, you can go into .NET. There are multiple variations available. Now, there are a lot of fancy words being thrown about, right? Like, for example, you have crowd, you have machine learning, you have AI, you have BI. So all these things are fine. But to do these kind of programming, what you need to understand is that there are some basic things that you will need to understand. There are some basic things that you will need to learn. There are some basic skills that you will need to demonstrate, and only then can you become eligible for a job. Take an example. Let's say I have a dream of being a programmer who can create virtual media or artificial intelligence, but to reach there, because those companies are definitely not going to be hiring freshers who have no background into, let's say, VR field or AI field or machine learning. So you need to build up your skill set, and to build up the skill set starts at the beginning. You're an engineer or a degree holder or some kind of a graduate who has some understanding of programming, but is that skill good enough to withstand the rigors of the interview? We haven't checked it yet. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to also increase the width of your understanding. So if you know Java, learn Python. If you know Python, learn Java, learn .NET, learn multiple things. Because the broader your spectrum is, the better your chance of getting a job is going to be. Fine. And even if I know all the technology stacks, the things start at absolute foundation. So in business application development, you need to start at C programming, then C++ programming, then Java or Python or whichever programming stack that you're choosing, and then start becoming expert in that. In addition to that, you also need to understand how to face the interviews, how to talk to people, how to understand the question and respond to that in a correct way. In short, you need soft skills, right? And you need a place where you can get all of this, maybe in a way that is pretty easy for you to get. And at FirstBit, that is exactly what we provide. The moment a student comes into FirstBit, we start at the absolute basics, which is C programming, gradually build it up to object-oriented programming, then take it to the business application programming with Java or Python or whichever stack that you're going to be choosing, like Minman, and then also refurbish the entire learning experience with soft skill training, project execution, mock evaluation, interview practices, aptitude examples. So there are lots of things which will try to give you to make you a holistic programmer who knows whatever that needs to know to get a job.